What if the cure for cancer wasn't invented by a scientist, but by an AI that designs proteins from scratch? What if the most devastating diseases known to humankind could be dismantled atom by atom, blueprint by machines that never sleep? What if the building blocks of life were no longer confined to nature's random experiments, but engineered with precision by lines of code? This isn't sci-fi, it's real. Right now, artificial intelligence is reprogramming the very fabric of life. And it's doing it faster, smarter, and more creatively than we ever thought possible. We are witnessing a paradigm shift in how medicine is conceived, developed, and delivered. The implications stretch far beyond healthcare. We're talking about redesigning evolution itself. Welcome to the future of medicine. This is Tech Mythos. Hit subscribe, tap the bell, and like this video if you want a front row seat to the evolution of life itself. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. In 2020, DeepMind, the AI powerhouse behind AlphaGo, unleashed a revolutionary system called AlphaFold. Within weeks, it cracked one of biology's biggest mysteries, the protein folding problem. Proteins are the tiny machines that run every cell in your body. They're made of amino acids, but here's the twist. Their shape determines their function, and predicting how they fold is notoriously hard. Think of trying to predict how a necklace tossed in the air will land in 3 dimensions, with dozens of moving joints. It's a problem that stumped scientists for over 50 years. But AlphaFold? It solved it with such astonishing accuracy that it stunned the scientific world. Within a year, AlphaFold had predicted the structures of nearly every protein known to science. AlphaFold didn't just improve the process, it obliterated the barrier between guesswork and precision. That was just the beginning. Now, a new generation of AI isn't just predicting protein shapes, it's designing brand new proteins from scratch. It's learning the grammar of biology and writing entirely new sentences that nature never wrote. And these synthetic proteins aren't just curiosities. They're being built to do things nature never dreamed of. Breaking down plastic, neutralizing viruses, even targeting cancer cells with laser precision. We're talking about solutions that could purify polluted oceans, detoxify drinking water, regenerate damaged organs, and disrupt biofilm formation in antibiotic-resistant bacteria. Each breakthrough redefines what's biologically possible and opens new realms of biotechnology. Enter ProGen, a powerful AI model developed by Salesforce Research. Yes, the CRM company. They trained it on 280 million protein sequences, enough to make Darwin's head spin. And ProGen does something extraordinary. It treats proteins like language. Just like ChatGPT completes your sentence, ProGen completes your protein. The result? Proteins that are not only functional, but sometimes even better than what nature evolved. This approach is unlocking entirely new protein families with properties engineered for specific tasks. Think of it as evolution on warp speed, but with guidance, intention, and near-instant feedback. And here's where it gets wild. Some of these AI-designed proteins actually work in the lab. Researchers synthesize them, test them in cells, and in many cases they behave exactly as predicted. In one experiment, ProGen generated enzymes capable of breaking down industrial waste. Enzymes that didn't exist anywhere on Earth. It's like writing code, compiling it, and watching it run inside a living organism. For the first time, bioengineering feels more like software development. Debugging lines of molecular code to cure disease or enhance health, while simultaneously creating new functionality never observed in the wild. One of the most breathtaking developments comes from the University of Washington's Institute for Protein Design. Led by Dr. David Baker, they created an AI tool called RoseTTAFold, which builds on AlphaFold's breakthrough. But they took it a step further. They designed de novo proteins, proteins that have never existed in nature, that can bind to specific targets, like the spike protein of the coronavirus. They also designed protein-based nanocontainers that can deliver drugs with pinpoint accuracy. Imagine vaccines and treatments made not by harvesting viruses, but by programming blueprints into a machine. This opens up the potential to rapidly respond to future pandemics, adapting treatments in days instead of years. These aren't just therapies, they're programmable biological machines. At this point you might be wondering, what's the catch? Are there risks? Absolutely. Designing proteins isn't like building Lego. One wrong twist and a protein misfolds, possibly triggering an immune response or worse. That's why validation in the wet lab is critical. AI can suggest millions of candidates, but only a handful will work in real biological systems. Still, it's dramatically faster than traditional drug discovery, which can take 10 years and billions of dollars. And thanks to high-throughput robotics, researchers can now test thousands of protein variants per day. Plus, researchers are now using high-throughput automated labs to test and refine AI outputs, shrinking development time even further. Entire rounds of discovery, testing, and iteration can now happen in a single week. Speaking of speed, remember how long it took to develop the first HIV treatments? Decades. Now imagine AI cranking out viable drug candidates in weeks. That's not a dream, that's happening now. The acceleration isn't just technological, it's humanitarian. Shorter development times mean quicker access to life-saving treatments in underserved regions. It also means that rare diseases, previously ignored due to limited market incentive, are finally getting attention. Take Insilico Medicine, for example. Their AI platform designed a new drug for idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, a fatal lung disease, and advanced it to clinical trials in less than 18 months. Normally that would take over 5 years. This isn't hype, this is a medical moonshot. They've since applied their platform to over 30 disease targets, spanning everything from oncology to metabolic disorders. And they're just one of dozens of companies rewriting drug pipelines using neural networks. Others include Benevolent AI, Recursion, and XTAL-Pi, all fusing machine learning with molecular biology to transform how we create medicine. But here's where the story gets even more mind-bending. AI isn't just designing cures, it's imagining entire classes of medicine humanity has never seen. Drugs that don't just treat symptoms, but adapt in real time. Molecular systems that evolve in response to changing cellular environments. Smart biologics that sense their environment and adjust dosage or timing based on real-time biological signals. We're entering the era of intelligent medicine, treatments that think. Companies like Generative Biomedicines are using generative AI to create drugs from first principles. Instead of screening millions of compounds like Big Pharma used to do, they reverse engineer the problem. Start with the disease, and let AI imagine the perfect molecule to solve it. This drastically reduces time to discovery and cost while boosting the likelihood of success. It's the difference between finding a needle in a haystack and building the needle from scratch to fit the lock perfectly. Even Google is in the game. Its DeepMind spin-off, Isomorphic Labs, is partnering with pharmaceutical giants to bring AI-designed drugs to the market, and they're not dabbling. They're betting that biology is now an information science problem, and AI is the ultimate decoder. It's the shift from hypothesis-driven science to pattern-driven science, where the patterns are illuminated by billions of data points. In this world, the lab notebook is digital, and every experiment trains the system further. Want to know the moment AI saved a life? Let's talk about Timothy Springer, a Harvard professor who co-founded a biotech company using AI protein design. Their platform created a candidate drug targeting leukemia. Early trials, promising results. One patient, a child with no remaining options, responded. Her cancer markers dropped. Hope returned. That single moment was backed by countless hours of AI-driven analysis, iterating molecular possibilities beyond what any human could track. That's not just a cure, that's a quantum leap. That's the power we're talking about. And while this tech is dazzling, it's not a silver bullet. Biology is messy, evolution is unpredictable, and AI, for all its brilliance, can still hallucinate. That's why researchers are pairing AI predictions with massive robotic labs that can rapidly test, validate, and iterate on thousands of designs. It's human intuition, machine learning, and robotic precision converging in real time. We are building a virtuous cycle of discovery where each failure improves the system. We've entered a new scientific method, part intuition, part data stream, all accelerated. By now, you're probably seeing the bigger picture. This isn't just about curing one disease. It's about rewriting the rulebook of life, protein by protein, code by code. This is biological software engineering on a cosmic scale. Humanity is learning to program biology with the same fluency we once reserved for silicon. If you're as stunned by this as we are, take a second to subscribe, like, and drop a comment. What disease would design a cure for if you had access to this tech? Your input helps shape future videos. Let's zoom out one more time. What if AI could generate enzymes that fix genetic mutations before symptoms appear? What if neurodegenerative diseases like ALS or Alzheimer's could be slowed or even reversed because AI discovered a previously unknown molecular pathway? What if aging itself could be reprogrammed as a disease? These questions are no longer theoretical. They're in peer-reviewed journals, funded by governments and backed by clinical data. And if you think this sounds like science fiction, remember this. Nearly everything you heard today was impossible just 5 years ago. Well, those what-ifs are now clinical research proposals. Some are already funded, some are entering human trials, and behind many of them is a silent partner, an AI architect, quietly reshaping our biological destiny. Every step forward opens 5 new doors. The rate of acceleration is exponential, and unlike any previous generation of tools, these models get smarter with every use. Here's the kicker. The more data these models consume, the better they get. Every test, every failure, every surprise, it all feeds back into the system. Unlike a single scientist who retires, this knowledge never disappears. It compounds forever. The datasets that once sat unused in dusty labs are now fueling this transformation. AI thrives on what we once ignored, and the more inclusive our data becomes, the more equitable our medical future can be. We're not just building treatments, we're building a living, evolving intelligence that co-authors the next chapter of medicine. An intelligence that never sleeps, never forgets, and never stops optimizing. The collective learning of every scientist, every lab, and every experiment, consolidated into one omnipresent engine of biological discovery. The line between biology and technology is dissolving. Protein design is now software engineering. The human genome is editable code. And AI, it's our collaborator, not our competitor. Together, we are building not just medicine but a new kind of biological literacy. One that enables us to design life itself, a world where disease becomes optional and health is a matter of design. This is how we cure the incurable, not by chance, not by waiting, but by design. If this video expanded your view of what's possible, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a little hope today. We're building the future, one molecule at a time. This is Tech Mythos.